Hey everyone, welcome to day 4 of the 2030 project. First of all, I just want to say what an awesome job I think everybody is doing so far. You've been sending me questions and making sure that you are getting the answers you need. Keep that up. Keep up the work that you're doing either on your own or if you're working with a group. I hope that's going okay. Let me know if you're having any questions with any of that. But I know this distance learning thing is really hard. It's hard for me. It's hard for you to be in front of a computer all the time and just kind of on your own for a lot of this. But I really appreciate the work that you're doing, and please reach out if you need any help. As you know, our essential questions for this unit are: what are the biggest problems faced by people around the world today? And how can I help solve these problems? So just know that that's really our grounding for this unit. And as we get into things today, we're going to be finding research on what you've selected. So let me just go back to the project overview itself. This is the document we started with that kind of shows you where we're headed with this. So far, we've picked a global goal. We've chosen a target area, and last class you unpacked your target area so that you really understand what it's all about. You really know what you're focusing on. You know, the language, the vocabulary, all that stuff is clear to you by now, I would hope. And that's going to help you, I think, to help you find more information, to conduct research, which is our next step, to ask and answer questions related to your target. So that's what we'll be focusing on both today and into early next week. Our next class will be focused on more research. So you have some time to gather some things on your target and to conduct some research. And I'll talk a little bit more about that in a sec. As we go forward, you can see we're going to create an advocacy plan, and then we'll be doing a final presentation of your work. We'll give you more details about what all of that's about later on. And we're just taking this one step at a time. So just know that if you're not keeping up on pace with this stuff, it's going to be really hard towards the end to kind of backtrack and do this stuff fast. So that's why I'm trying to dole this out to you one thing at a time. And today we're going to focus on the research before we think about the last couple steps here. So having said all of that, we are going to be doing some research, and you're going to first of all brainstorm for your research. So that's the document you're going to find on Schoology today. That's the one that you can share with your group members if you have any, and also with me, so that I am able to check in on that if I need to, and I'll be looking at what's shared with me. So let me just go through this as quickly as I can. I'm sorry if I get a little long-winded here today, but I want to make sure that we're clear on what you're doing. You're going to put your global goal here. You're going to find your target again and paste it there so that you know what you're focused on. And then you're going to answer a few questions. What problem does your goal and target focus on? So that might be life underwater. Maybe your target is even more specific than that. Maybe it's there's a lot of different targets and goals you could have that's going to be specific to you. So just think about that, answer that question as best you can. Why is this a problem? See if you can come up with a response to that question. Why is this really a problem? And then I want you to think a little bit more personally. Does this affect you in any way? Is this a problem that you think has anything to do with you? Is it a problem locally in your city, your community, your state? Is it a problem for our country? Or is it a problem even globally across the world, or even in other places in the world that aren't the United States or that aren't Edina? So just kind of think through that a little bit to get started. And then you have something called the question matrix. It says use the question matrix below as a tool to help you generate questions to guide your research. The red area is level 1 questions, purple is level 2, and green is level 3. And there's a resource here that might help you understand what that means a little bit more if you click on the blue link. You do not need to fill in each box. This is just something I stole from Mr. Dahlman, so you may have done this in health class this year, just to help you generate questions, just to think about what is it that I need to know. If I'm focused on this target area, what kind of things can I be investigating about what it is? So like if I go to what can be done about this? When would this problem most occur? How would, or how might, or how should. You're just going to kind of go across the who, what, where, all those W's and stuff with these top things: is, did, can, will, would, might, should. Generate some questions. See if you can come up with some good questions to find some answers to, because that's going to help you jumpstart your research. So let me just read these things in red here. As you research, you might find some good information online. You can certainly use online Google searches to find some good stuff, but do make sure that you are finding reliable quality sources. There's a video here that helps you think about that a little bit more with the CRAP approach to determining source credibility. So I'd urge you to check that out so you know what I'm talking about there and you know how to find good sources. Also, Mr. Deal, right now as I'm recording this, he is busy working on some resources for you, which you will find on Schoology. I would have linked them on the document here, but I'm just going to put them on Schoology. To find resources, research that's not on Google. There's a lot of resources that we as a school have access to and some databases that you'll be able to access that Mr. Deal has given us access to. So there's better information in there, and I would urge you also to check out those things by Mr. Deal to get started on your research. Try to find some stuff that's beyond Google, that's not just a quick Google search, that's a little bit more intensive and hopefully going to get you a little bit more interesting and better stuff. So again, look to Schoology for that. You'll see some links on today's lesson. And then right here is where you can start your research notes. I know this is at the bottom of the document. If you want to create a new document and put your research notes there, that's fine. But I think they should kind of take this format. So what's your question? Look at those questions you did above from the red and purple categories in that question matrix and put them here. And then as you research, you should be trying to find answers to those questions. So copy and paste or summarize relevant evidence that answers your research questions. So if you're doing something on pollution, maybe your question relates to pollution. How many pounds of a certain type of pollution are here? What did you find? That's going to be your answer. And then where did you find it? Where did you find any answers that you had discovered? So always try to make sure that you're giving a website, that you're giving the article titles or whatever information you can have. Put it here so that way you don't have to go back and find it again when you're trying to include it in a presentation or anywhere else. Try to keep track of where you're finding these answers. So that's that. On the bottom here, as you keep researching here, as you keep looking at things, you might be finding people that you think are interesting or relevant to your topic. You might find groups or organizations that are already doing some work with the target that you're involved with. So if you find things like that, you might want to just put them here. I've given you a space to put any people, organizations, groups, anything that you think might be worth checking out later on in this project that might help you to have a good idea for how to solve this problem, or some people who might already know more about this than you do. So this is that. So that's pretty much that document. As always, if you have any questions, please let me know. Please always check out everything on Schoology, including those resources Mr. Deal created that will be on there for you. And the last thing that I'd like you to do is a reflection today. So on Schoology, you'll find a Google form and just some basic information here so that I can sort this information with Mrs. Claire. But the big question here is reflect on your 2030 project and how it's going so far. Do you have any questions? Is there anything you are not clear about right now? Do you need any help with anything? Please either do that here or reach out to me via email or on my Google Meets. This is a chance for everybody to check in with me. Even if things are going fine, please let me know in detail how things are going. Try to write in complete sentences, give a nice thorough response so that I can at least get some communication from everybody on how things are going. This has been a great project that we've done over the past few years. And it's been really a fun project, and it's fun for me to check in with everybody on how things are going. I know that's a little bit difficult in this distance learning, so please give me the best response you can here so that I feel like we're doing a good job or I'm doing a good job helping you out. I know it's weird, but we're just going to do our best. So check in here, and this will be graded. So I want to put a grade on Schoology for you on your check-in reflection here today. So again, I'm sorry, a little long-winded there, but again, keep up the good work. You're doing a really good job. And as always, reach out if you have any needs or any questions. I'm here for you. All right, I'll leave it at that. Thank you so much.